We will get to that as well. All right. This one coming from Lagos. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, the internet was buzzing with reports by a user Twitter user who came out to say, look, I feel that my rights were grossly violated. I don't feel human. The way I was treated was very terrible. And what happened? This is a person who is in a wheelchair, right? Debola Daniels, I believe that's his name, was, at the airport trying to get on a plane to travel to his destination. And then he stopped at the fast food place there to say, okay, he wants to eat. And according to the report, he was sent out because he was in a wheelchair. Yes, staff of the establishment came out to say, look, I'm under strict orders. Yes, I'm new here, but I'm under strict orders that no wheelchairs are allowed. And, they had to escort him out of the place. He was in company of his family members. It wasn't just him. So they tried to reason with the person, the attendant there. They tried talking to the person over and over again. But the lady apparently was adamant. At a point, they needed to have it on record. So even though they were forced to leave the place, they, with their brother who was in the wheelchair, they went back in under the pretext of buying food stuff still, and then recorded a conversation where the lady said she was under strict instruction not to let anyone with a wheelchair in. Well, as it turns out, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, as of this morning, ordered the closure of the KFC outlet at Murtala Mohammed International Airport with effect from today. And they said their decision is in line with the Lagos state law on people with special needs, Part C, Section 55 of the General Provisions on Discrimination, which states that a person shall not deprive another person of access to any place, vehicle, or facility that members of the public are entitled to enter or use on the basis of disability of that person, right? He was, given that he was about to travel, he was recorded as a passenger with reduced mobility, PRM. This is Mr. Debola Daniels himself, and they looked into it and they moved in very swiftly. A statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of FAN, Mrs. Obiageli Ora, said that they deployed a management team comprising of some of the big wigs, Regional Manager Southwest, General Manager Public Affairs, and all of that to investigate the allegations. And based on their findings, they have now shut down the facility where this incident occurred. Right. They've also instructed the management that it should tender an unreserved apology in writing to Mr. Debola Daniels and a policy statement of non-discrimination, which has to be written and pasted conspicuously at the door of their facility before they're allowed to resume operation. Well, I think this particular news headline is quite important, given that I'm not quite sure if we can say that as a country or as a nation or as a people, we have been able to put measures in place that prevent discrimination against whether passengers with reduced mobility or people living with any form of disability at all. So that's the second news update that we have there. All right. The third one that we have is regarding the release of what the military has come out to describe as not an abduction. Segun Olatunji, editor of First News online newspaper, has regained freedom after spending 14 days in custody. According to the news headline, gunmen in military uniform had invaded Mr. Olatunji's residence at Yanodo in Abulegba area of Lagos State and abducted him. While the journalist's family did not receive any communication from his abductors, the management of the media platform had linked the incident, that's the fact that he had been whisked away, if we were to, toe that line, to a story published by their daily. Concerns about his location continued until the International Press Institute of Nigeria said its checks and investigations showed that the editor was in custody of the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is an agency under the command of Major General Emmanuel Undiandeye, according to the Daily Trust, who in turn reports to the CDS General Chris Musa. It says hours after the IPI made this disclosure, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, told some editors that the military had confirmed that the editor was in their custody. Of course, in a strongly worded statement on Wednesday, the IPI had to call on the president to activate the powers of his office so that Mr. Olatunji would be produced. And, they received inquiries about the matter. They contacted the Nigerian police, the Nigerian Army, the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, the DHQ, and the Ministry of Information seeking information about him. Well, all of that has led to his release today. According to the IPI, they said the fact that they had to look for him for that long triggered speculations among journalists and human rights activists around the world that there might be some vital information that was being kept away from the public concerning the journalist's safety. Well, as it turns out, on Thursday morning, as today, Mr. Olatunji was released to the Nigerian Guild of Editors, according to a message by the Secretary of the Guild, Dr. Iyobusa Uwigere. Right, so pressure and, a lot of investigation done. And as it turns out, he has been released. That's Segun Olatunji, editor of the First News online newspaper. And the military has also come out in a strongly worded statement to insist that they do not abduct journalists. There was not a lot of clarification on that, but they said, we don't abduct. Whatever happened to him, it wasn't an abduction. And this is, going by the narrative that was put out there. They have come out to clarify that was not the case. Well, these are our three major stories this afternoon. Feel free to call in and contribute, share your thoughts and your opinions on it, and then we'll get into our lead conversation. The numbers to call are 0700 951 0000, 080 959 74869 and 080 30137. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Somi. How are you? How are your loved ones? My name is Abakar calling you from Gwagwalada.
Go ahead, sir.
Somi, how are your king admirers across?
Okay, Abubakar, let's not start the conversation with that one today.
I'm sorry.
The matter did not continue today. You now want to bring it up.
No.
Well, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Back to the issue at hand.
Yes.
Kudos to government of Lagos State for that urgent action of shutting down that facility. Showing discrimination in any form it should be condemned. We are here when people living with disability, their sportsmen and women, goes to Olympics and Para-Olympic Games, and they come out with a lot of laurels. So it shouldn't be discriminated against. It's a good one. Thank you. That is my tip.
All right, then. Thank you so much. And that also brings us to conversations around what's been done in the FCT here. I know that in Lagos State, they even set up, they have the Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs, right? They also came out to put out that statement when the news about Mr. Adebola Daniel broke out. And this was before the Federal Airport Authority took notice. Have there been any cases? Have you been discriminated against here in the FCT? What has been done about it? These are some of the conversations that we can have so that we're drawing the attention of the right authorities. And if there are none, we are putting those authorities in place to check these discriminatory acts. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon for me.
Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Lekon calling from Jakutu.
Oh, okay. So, Lekon, this voice that you use in the afternoon is different from the one you use in the night, or are you a different Lekon? I'll just check it.
You know how it goes. See, I thought they wait for you. Sorry, we will sort ourselves out when you resume at night.
Oh, it is well.
You have deserted us.
I have not. I took permission. I took permission. Oh, yeah, Mabi, go ahead, please.
We know where we meet. We will settle our case today.
It's all right. Go ahead, please.
That was by the way. You see, concerning this, firstly, I want to appreciate the fact that there was a quick response
and the history was closed down immediately. But it's not just apology that man deserves. He should be compensated. See, if this thing happened in an advanced country, that man will be a millionaire by now. So it's not about just coming out to come and apologize. And it's not me be that man. I will sue them to court. And I will make sure I get well compensated.
Okay.
So we shouldn't be doing things like this. See, a lot of these things don't even have ramp where all these people living with disabilities can pass with their what is it called, with their distance that they use. And it is wrong. I'm not even talking of it when there are hospitals that don't even have ramp. Hospital. I've been to hospitals that don't even have ramp. What are we talking about? So this thing is a serious situation. May God help us. But I'm glad they are acting on it already. But that man should be compensated as well. Perhaps if they know what they are doing, they should tell that man to come and be eating in their face for the next 1 month. I mean, serious.
1 month, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. So.
That
Some people will say it should be for longer.
Yes, for the next 1 month that they won't collect anything for him. I'm being serious.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. Yes. It is for them to show that they really regret what they did.
All right.
Thank you for the
All right, then. Thank you so much, Lekon. Thank you for your thoughts on that. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Oh, dear. Hello, are you there? Okay, let's go to the next one. Hello?
Yeah, Somi.
Good afternoon.
Somi, my sister.
Sir.
Yeah, I'm from Delta State now.
Sorry?
I come from Delta State anyway.
Oh, really? What's your name, first of all?
My name is Emmanuel from Ute.
Ah, okay. Oh, you're from Delta State. I see.
You admire us. Well done, though.
Yes, Mr. Emmanuel. Go ahead, please.
I'm family now.
Very well, thank you.
Well done. I just got to meet you.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
I don't have a Nigeria problem.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel from Musitu. All right, let's look at. Okay, no, let me take a few more calls, and then we'll get into our lead conversation. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This first time caller on this program.
Oh, really? Your name, sir?
First time caller. No, which time I'm going to be first time caller. This Amy the bike man.
Amy the bike man.
Yes, Amy the bike man.
That's for calling in for the first time on the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I think what I have to say in this aspect, this area of what's happening in Lagos, with the prompt action they take pertaining that person, I think is a very welcome development.
Okay.
And I think at time those living with disabilities should come up. There's this program they do all on that platform. I used to also ask them one or two questions. They say they have a senior special assistant, I think is the presidency. I asked them, what have they been doing now? But I have not heard that person make any comment about it to live with disability. And I asked them again, if all these palliative are happening, have you heard, if you have heard, please tell me, where they don't gather people with disability, give them palliative. They also benefit for all this palliative they have been sharing. I think as most of them say they are not even getting. I think it's high time the rest of those that are well educated, that have exposed also in form of come and make sure that those people they fight for their rights. This one also, this thing has been happening in so many places. Just because this one is a known one, they have come out like that. I think they should form of look into their matter. Anything where they give other people, maybe they give them also like palliative and incentive so that also benefit. Okay. We don't know who will affect tomorrow. I think I've said myself once again as a new member of this platform. With time, I will partake they got information for this platform. Thank you very much.
All right then. Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Hello.
Yes,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sir.
I heard the story of the man on the wheelchair. My name is Ambassador from South Africa.
Ambassador Farm, good to
Formerly
have
the
you here.
formerly the Abino Foundation.
Yes, sir.
I had a story about the man on a wheelchair who went to a restaurant at the airport, Lagos, to eat, and he was not allowed in. Yeah, I think the man should press charges on the restaurant because there is a law in this country and discrimination against persons with disability. That is discrimination to the highest level. The guy should go to court and demand and press charges against the restaurant. Apart from the fine authority closing down the restaurants, the man should demand charges, demand damages, because they have cost him a lot. Imagine what would have happened to him at that instance that he was refused entrance into the restaurant. He's being rejected, he's being dejected in the presence of his family members. I mean, the law has been in existence. It was signed in 2018, and the hand of the law should catch up with the restaurants. That's my suggestion. The guy should go after it, and the guy should also come to the Disability Commission in Abuja and report officially so that we will handle it.
Okay.
When it happened about 5 years ago with Dr. Chiko Kugu, with all of this Dana Airline, we knew how Chike fought and dealt with Dana Airline. Okay. And Dana Airline will not repeat it on any person with disability. So this restaurant should be taught the lesson of their life so that they will not repeat it again.
All right.
And so that other restaurants, other agencies will learn from the outcome of this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ambassador Afam, can I keep you on for a little bit longer? Just to be sure, you are Ambassador Afam Kasimaun.
Yes.
I'm so sorry that I didn't get you.
Yes.
But I know that you've done a lot of work, regarding, people living with disabilities and all of that. And I was asking this
people
particular
with disability, not living, people with disability.
Thank you, sir, for that correction. People with disabilities. So I know that this particular incident happened in Lagos, but for people in Abuja who may be experiencing one form of disability, discrimination or the other.
Discrimination.
Yes, sir. You mentioned what agency? Commission for Persons with Disability?
National Commission for Persons with Disability, yes.
Okay.
National Commission for Persons with Disability.
Okay. I also see that there is a joint National Association of Persons with Disability.
Disability, yes.
Okay, so those are places that people can go to and have their cases fought for. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Apart from that too, each of the clusters has their own cluster group. They can report incidents of this nature too.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that clarification, sir. I just needed you to put that out there again. And thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
All right, then. All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Just in case, I did mention that if there were any other cases of, people with disabilities, going through any form of discrimination and they didn't know how to get their voices heard, I needed Barrister Afam to put that out there. National Commission for Persons with Disabilities is here in Abuja, and there's also the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities. All right, let's take a few more calls. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Somi.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm very well, thank you.
My name is Thomas Alice on the line.
Go ahead, sir.
My take about Nigeria Army one day. You see, what I'm saying is the Senate, for now, that day, the Senate President speak about what is happening about those people, that the people that died there, is not sure because they are not in the war, in their area, that it cannot be the people there. It will be like some Africa country or some neighboring country that come and kill Nigeria Army. Now I see that Nigerian Army has placed people that they kill these people and they are wanted. And when I see this name, is the people of that area. Even this want to speak out as the Senate President. Now when the Senate people have something to do, now it's supposed to be impeached. Not supposed to be there anymore.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The Senate President. Hello?
Yeah. You said who should be impeached?
the Senate president that is supposed to be impeached now, because what they speak that day is that area, when you repeat that area, they are not in the war. So he looked at the people that they do that kind of thing. He sure is a neighboring country, neighboring people that they come to do that killing.
Okay.
That is not sure there's some other people. You see that kind of war. Because as a president, as a Senate president, you're not supposed to utter that kind of war, because
all right then.
They certificate to investigate and share whether it's that people in that area or another people.
Okay.
But you speak out in Senate there that it's not that people, they need to segment that indirectly.
All right.
When Nigeria is working,
okay.
Nigeria is working, it's supposed to be impeached now. It's supposed to impeach.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I don't know if that's grounds for impeachment, though. Yes, you can take the Senate president to task on what he said, given what has come out in light of that. But grounds for impeachment, I'm not sure. We'll come back to the conversation. Just make sure you stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info. We'll go on a short break, and we'll be right back.
Get your branding to a household name in Abuja and beyond.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Audio Jungle.
I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love, no more, no more. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. Yeah, hey, pour me up some OJ, have it fresh squeeze, sizzle up some pico and some bay leaves. Make sure that it's on low. Let the top breathe, let the top breathe. Gotta let the top breathe. Crack another egg on it. Me and you could make the best omelet. Yeah, never seasoned, so it's our timing. You can smell the good vibes rising. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. No more, no more. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. smooth like cream, warm like the steam, rising on my caffeine. Cozy as a coupe, had to get you in the loop. Cooking in the kitchen, all I really wanna do is crack another egg on it. Yeah, me and you can make the best omelet. Never season, so it's our timing. You can smell the good vibes rising. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. No more, no more. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. I keep my sunny side up. You keep your sunny side up. We keep our sunny side.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 This is Nigeria Info.
Just because of his looks, should be penalized heavily. Well, thank you so much for that. All right. Good afternoon, Somi. The sun is just too hot here, but thank God your voice is helping to reduce the temperature. Concerning the journalist in, did you say PH? I think the military should be clear and truthful about everything. When their own incident happened in Delta State, everybody condemned and stood against their killings. God bless Nigeria. Solomon from Life Camp. I'm not going to read out that last part, Solomon, but thank you. Okay. Ehinome says, my sister, I faced discrimination due to my financial disability while trying to buy a new car. Ehinome. Okay. Secondly, today discrimination against men by women is evident in the market as hardship has made men taking the job of what? Hardship has made men take the job of going to the market. It shocked me as I see my colleagues in the market nowadays. Ehinome, it is well with you. Good day. Well done for the good job. Can I ask a question? It says, was KFC shut down because the affected person with disability was the son of a former governor? If the person affected is an ordinary citizen, would the place still have been shut down? This is coming from a concerned citizen. But let me answer your question, concerned citizen. Perhaps the fact that it was the son of a former governor, but he put the information out there by himself. But I believe that the person who was discriminating against him did not know who he was. And so that's the bone of that's the major thing there, is that anybody at all will be discriminated against, son of former governor or not. Now, as to whether ordinary citizens, if it was an ordinary citizen, whether the place should have been shut down, I think it all depends on the ability for people to take up the matter to the necessary authorities. We've had someone who's a foremost advocate and active, what is not activist, but advocate for people with disabilities, come out to say there are institutions that can take up your matter and fight it. So I don't think it was a case of former governor or not, because the person who was discriminating against him did not know who he was and sent him out of the place regardless. Perhaps, I don't know if that answers your question. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. It's 0700 951 0000 080 959 74869 and 080 The news headlines that we have put out include the fact that 8 suspected people have been publicized as to being wanted by the military. Yes, who are said to probably have been responsible for the killing of 17 military men in Ukoma in Delta State. We also have the story about the Federal Airports Authority shutting down an eatery for denying entrance to a person with disability, amongst other stories. Let's get to the phone lines. Hello.
Somi.
Yes, sir.
With a long surname.
You haven't heard my surname, but go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
I greet all the previous callers. This is Adeomi Daniel calling.
Mr. Daniel, go ahead.
Kudos to ministry. Now that they have known the name of the culprit, they should take it easy with the innocent ones. There's a adage that say in a court, it's better for one criminal to go than for 100 innocent to suffer. They should let the place come now. I'm talking about Kwama. They should go after those guys that they put their name on Facebook. And if they want to balance justice, this type of thing has been happening for long. It happened in Today Kebbi State. 23 military was killed. It happened in Niger. It happened in Zafra, Borno. A lot of places. You understand? They should make sure they let us get justice. People like Truji, they are military before. Dogo Dide, or what do they call him? And the other one, Yellow, they have seen military and their picture is in everywhere. But we didn't hear anything about them again. We are hearing that they are doing the naming ceremony. The other day, one of them was Soban. The military know where they Soban him. They didn't go. They should go after all those ones too. Why all this type of things happening? Because it happened before. You didn't take action. Another people will see it like a normal.
Okay.
Let's say, example now, I start with my son. My son give you high five, like in something west. If I didn't hit him on his hand, he would think it's a normal thing. He will still do it for another person. So what they need to do is now, so go after all the criminals who have been in Nigerian name down. Look at what happened. Maybe I saw recipe. We are not happy to happen, but they should balance it. They should balance justice.
All right, then.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adeomi Daniels. I think the call, irrespective of who you are, as long as anyone is found to be doing the wrong thing, the necessary action should be taken against them. It's about holding people accountable, whether they're bandits, terrorists, kidnappers, politicians, whoever you are. If you do anything wrong, we should be held accountable and made to face the full extent of the law. Hello? Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Harun, and that's the name my father gave me.
Welcome, sir.
This.
Welcome.
The problem is this: if anybody they catch or anybody they are looking, those people where did they surveillance now? May they catch them, prosecute them to court, deal with them. But the other thing, if they do this thing at the end of the day, now so the fire will just quench like that. I don't know why. That's why I they continue. A military people where say they are going to defend your country. See the way they kill them. Anyone where they carry one can't do sample so that the rest will be packed aside. Because if they do this thing, now so the thing will just quench. We not go say anything will come out of it. How many military that don't they kill? Now if they say make they call recruit, some people could fear. I don't even understand this kind of country where we do. Let them deal with them now. They should not mess. Thank you, my sister.
Okay. All right, thank you. Well, I mean, it all starts from somewhere. Investigation has been ongoing. Now they have released pictures of people. Again, it says wanted in connection to the killing of 17 Nigerian army personnel. Just like I refuse to read out the label that a particular person who commented on WhatsApp says, or they will have to, be thoroughly, I think, charged to court, all the necessary charges will need to be looked at before they can be convicted, of the crimes, should they be found guilty of them. But right now, you have people wanted in connection to the killing. We have Professor Ekpekpe, author. We have a woman, Igoli Ebi, who is amongst them, Andowe Dennis Bakriri, Akeru Daniel Omotegbo, Akata Malawa David, Sinclair Oliki, Clement Ikologan Erukewe, and Ruben Baru. Well, more details would be emerging, from this story. It just broke not too long ago. More details will be emerging, and we'll be updating you as the stories develops. All right. Good afternoon, Somi. Everybody's talking about the guy that was unlawfully discriminated in Lagos airport restaurant. I also condemn that. The question is, why is it news? Is it because his father was once? What is it about this father once occupied political office? Any form of discrimination against a person with disability should be taken up as far as it can go, and whoever is responsible for that, whether they're an establishment or whatever, needs to be properly looked into. Okay, wondering why it's news? Maybe try. If you have somebody who has experienced this form of discrimination, then you will understand why it's important for these kinds of things to be highlighted. You go ahead to say what happened to the hundreds of people with disabilities across the country who are abused and discriminated without a voice. Again, the call, and that's why I kept Barrister Afam on a little bit longer, because we know that there are people who necessarily don't have a voice, but should we allow for those kinds of situations to continue? You say the law only works on them, not the common citizen on the street, and I beg to differ. Maxima from Silejawa, thank you for your message. However, thank you for your message. It will shock you when you see that some of these cases are actually being taken up. I don't know, maybe the bone of contention here is that they were actually shut down, but whether it was the fan that shut them down or whether it was the court that shut them down, the most important thing is any form of discrimination at all should not be encouraged. Okay? All right, it's 07009510000, 08095974869, and 08099930137. Hello?
Hello, Somi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, how you doing today? My name is James.
Welcome, James. Go ahead.
Please, regarding this guy that the wife was discriminated at Lagos airport.
It's a man that was discriminated against? Yeah, go ahead.
It was actually the wife. I followed, it was on Twitter. I got it on Twitter this early morning. So I think he was the one who posted it. Go watch the video again and listen to that voice note. The recording was even with a voice note. But let's just forget was either a man or a woman. We shouldn't discriminate people with disability. They don't make themselves. I don't understand why are people pointing out, is it because it's this and that? When you know you're right, you follow the appropriate channels. If I'm not wrong about that. Now, let's forget about the father position. Let's look at it. Let's look at the person in person. Forget about the public figure, whosoever the father was before. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. So we shouldn't get this thing wrong by saying, is it because the father was a former this and that? No. If it happens to an ordinary person and that ordinary person knows where to channel his complaint to, such person will get the justice also. So please, we should stop the issue of maybe the father is this or the mother is that. Please.
Okay.
Nigerians, we should learn to understand things with each other. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello? Oops. We lost that person. Okay, let's take a few more calls and then we'll see if we can bring this segment to a close. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, Excellency Somi.
Good afternoon. Welcome, sir.
Yes, I remember Mustafa Bakrali Ketin. I'm currently calling from Pirublu Kubwa.
Good to have
I
you
want
here.
to sincerely crave for your indulgence that I divert a little bit, but it's very, very important that I make this clarification.
Okay.
I want to sincerely send my unreserved apologies to all our family members. And in fact, it is now I got to know that 24 hours is just like 4 hours, especially once you are busy. I got some little contracts with a global health institute based in America to cover the entire North Central as the team lead. That has not given me enough breathing space to even sleep or have time for family, or let alone continue to engage my most revered radio station in the entire country. Today, I am off, but believe you me, from 8 a.m. down to 5 minutes to 1, I had been on call, receiving calls, giving solutions on the field. So please, my family members, Abubakar Tinubu Pekin is very much alive, is hearing, listening, but is over. His hands are tied. Within 24 hours, I hardly rest for 4-5 hours every day for the past 3-4 weeks now.
Okay.
So please, thank you for that. Thank you also for granting me this opportunity to make it open. I appreciate you, ma. Thank you, ma.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you very much. I'm sure the listening family knows exactly what that is about. Yeah, but let's move on then. Okay, let's see who's on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we don't seem to be able to establish a connection there. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Somi.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Masma calling from Apo.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. It's well that, first of all, let me start by saying may the soul of our gallant soldiers who were killed at Okwama rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
It's well that our intelligence have been able to come out with people that they are the people behind the killing, suspects. Then our soldiers should please allow the village just to go back to their village. They should not forget that not everybody in that community participated in this crime. And not everybody was aware that some group of people in that community is going to kill those soldiers. So suffering everybody just like that, I think is not fair. It's not fair on our part. So now that we have known the suspect, the villagers should be allowed to go back to their village. But those people should not go on punished. We should not think it, that we have a phone call from social place and therefore we sweep anything under carpet. By the time we keep sweeping things under carpet, there will be continual killing of our soldiers.
Okay.
We should put an end to such acts. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Just quickly, I forgot to mention that very quickly. I think the caller before the last was insisting that the person that was discriminated against was the wife. No, it's Debola Daniels himself that was discriminated against. He's the one in the wheelchair. His wife is not a person with disability, so maybe you need to recheck your information, okay? Good afternoon, Somi. On these people declared wanted, let this reactionary measure not be directed to Delta killings. We heard that two notorious terrorist commanders surrendered to MNJTF, that's the Multinational Joint Task Force. The next thing you hear, they are now repented Boko Haram. Government should punish these terrorists. Let their prosecution be public. And this is from Obedient Royal Prince. Good afternoon, Somi. Nigerians, we hail the persons with disabilities should be treated with utmost love, kindness, and support. But no, we respect only high, mighty political thieves who don't give. Miriam, thank you for your message. It's not about the person being the son of a former governor at all, but it's about discrimination against persons with disabilities or any Nigerian for that matter. Note that the color of money does not discriminate whether one is in a wheelchair or not. We should condemn the act of discrimination for what it is. Ambassador Afam coming in with that one. All right, a few more messages. Good afternoon, Somi. Nice knowing you. How is Mrs. Swat? I hope she's still with Nigeria Info. Yes, she is. You go ahead to say some Nigerians and their mindset, when will we stop rationalizing? Abba, this is a matter of humanity. We should all be happy that the matter has escalated to public notice to serve as a deterrent to others whether high or low profile. We should have more we should be more open-minded towards issues. Stop this class idea and accept what is right. No one deserves to be treated badly. We never know till we wear the shoes of another person. My cousin's son died. A bike knocked him down. Last Saturday evening, he died at 12 a.m. Sunday morning. A careless bike person speeding ran over his cute 7-year-old boy. I still weep for him. It was best the bike guy rode off. If he waited, ... Will it bring back my son, 7 years old? Ruptured his spleen and liver. I'm so sorry to hear about that, Ruth D. from Airport Road. I'm so sorry. Really, really sorry to hear about that. Yeah. Okay, that one just got to me. Sister Somi, you sound... Okay. You're saying that I sound somehow like Debbie. I know I'm not angry. You says her voice continues to linger. Thank you, Miriam, for your message as well. All right, I will take 2 more phone calls and we'll move on to the next conversation at this hour. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Welcome. Your name, sir?
Dr. Zil.
Oh, Dr. Zil. Dr. Zil, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me put this out there. For anybody with disability in Abuja that is being discriminated upon, the person can reach out to me. I will lead the fight. Because for me, as far as I live, I will always fight for the rights of the disabled and the people with disabilities, because many of them are being... You need to listen to what AIT today when one of them was talking about how even all these drivers, literally, these the cab guys, they are not patient with them. When they want to enter, they even they collect the double fare from them because of their whatever. You know, hey, listening to that, watching that this morning. So on my own voice and the little connection I have in Nigeria, I know how to speak for people like that, and I know where to go to. So I want to speak for them. If anybody can reach out to me, maybe you don't know how to speak, there are people who can speak for you, and I'm one of them. Okay. Then concerning the Nigerian army, yeah, what they are doing now, they should tread cautiously. Because when you are investigating, you don't just put out names alone. You have to be sure, because in Nigeria, our investigation is somehow. I am speaking because I actually did a little bit.
Hello? Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I said I actually have a little bit of knowledge on how to gather intelligence. I want it to be very careful. Because putting out the news, they are not the one. Nigeria Army, by Nigerian constitution and law, they are not the one to just put out names. It's police that are supposed to do that. But I'm surprised that in Nigeria, anybody can just put out name as wanted. No, not that. Their own jurisdiction, they should pass through the police, not just them, and they with their logo and everything.
Okay.
These people in particular, no matter what, police should be allowed to do the job of investigating and making sure that it is thorough and not just anybody, just for people to see.
All right,
they are doing their work. So
okay.
I think that is my advice for them.
Thank you, Dr. Zil. All right, thank you very much. This is our last call. Hello.
Hello, Somi.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is KJ. I'm calling from Gogolada.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, frankly speaking, my heart goes to the family, relations, and all Nigerians about the killing of these soldiers. We cannot train soldiers to the rank of up to lieutenant colonel in that, and then captain, and then so forth, and then just in the blink of an eye, we lost them like that. It's very bad. Now, having said that, the government should look inward. You see, there are some work that the police should be the one in forefront doing it, no soldiers. We used to know soldiers. Before you see soldiers outside, something terribly has gone wrong. But this time around, every little thing you see soldier, every little thing, so to the extent that the soldiers have almost lost that, sense of, I don't know how to put it now. So the government should look inward. Why deploying such massive number of officers just to quell community clashes? Which police canals, police are well empowered, well, giving what is supposed to be given, they can do that. We don't have to be losing our security agent like that. And if this is killed by fellow Nigerians, I mean, it's very unfortunate. May that not happen again. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, then. Thank you very much, sir. All right, this is where we bring this particular conversation to a close. Just like I said, the 17 gallant men that we lost were buried yesterday. Yes, they were buried yesterday. There was also news coming out that our president awarded the 4 officers with the Member of the Order of Niger, while the 13 soldiers were awarded the Officer of the Federal Republic Medal. Quite a number of other welfare packages put together for their families. It said that the children were awarded full scholarships, as well as the houses presented to their survivors. To their survivors. Right, so that's where we bring the conversation to a close. And just as we wrap up, it's all about accountability. It's all about ensuring that anybody, whoever it is that is in the wrong, should be properly prosecuted. And I put emphasis on the word properly prosecuted by the law and made to face the full penalty for their crimes, whoever it is that they are. Right. Today we're looking at some suspects who are wanted, who would most likely be apprehended. And again, we're saying, just like the last caller said, do a bit of inward search, a bit of introspection, and ensure that even if there's this prosecution that is supposed to go on, when these people who are wanted in connection to, it has not been established that they were the ones who murdered the officers, but when they are indeed found, the proper investigation should be done and the end of the matter should be sought out. It's also in connection to the story about people with disabilities, someone who was discriminated against, again, irrespective of who the person is. And that's why I made sure to say that if you know of anyone who is living with it, of course, Dr. Zil and Ambassador Afam have also weighed in on that as well regarding next steps that should be taken. Don't feel like your voice is too small to be heard. Don't say, oh, because it was a big man's son, that's why. If he's my own, they will not listen to me. If there are cases where you have tried to raise issues with some of these things and it hasn't been taken up, there are institutions that can take them up for you. We will continue to have these conversations and raise awareness. Not a lot of people responded to the conversation around the journalist who was released by the military. There is also that one. And again, the lesson there is, as long as your case is put out in the appropriate what's that word now? Spheres of conversation. Whether you are big or whether you are small, your matter will be taken up. The IPI followed up thoroughly with that particular journalist and he was released, even though the military had come out to say that he was not abducted. We'll be following closely with all of the stories that we've shared today, and we'll be bringing you the updates as they go on. I did mention that thing about the dollar not selling at 1,000 naira to $1. That rumor came up as well. And it was fact-checked. A lot of investigation some investigation was done towards, and that has been disputed as well. All right. So you know that you're going to get the right kind of information here. And in case you're not aware of how to ask the questions, ask the right questions, and you will get responses. And hopefully you'll be able to get help wherever you need it. All right. We're going on a quick break. When we come back, the Sunny Conversation comes up. I will see you then. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.